Well, I was born in 1934. That's a lot of years. I was born in Lima, in Peru. That's actually in the city where I was born, but most of my life happened in Miraflores, which is just a few miles from Lima proper. And as the name is, Miraflores means looking at flowers. There's a lot of flowers right by the ocean. And so that's where I was born. I went to school, to Sacred Heart, again, right by the ocean, in a boarding school. Spent the first part of my life mostly with my grandma, because my mother died when I was only 3 years old. And my brother Miguel was a year and a half. And then my dad remarried, and so life went on. And I had then 4 more siblings, all grew up together. But probably the fondest memory is my brother. We're very close, and we spend all kinds of things. We get sick. We have all the illnesses that you can have as a child. We had it together, except for whooping cough, because I was in boarding school and he was still at home when this happened. But other than that, just about you name it. Miguel was very sweet, very docile boy, and I was older than him. So he was always willing to play with my dolls with me, and we played tea time. Then later on in life, when he was older, occasionally, if they were short of somebody playing soccer, it would be an honor for me to ask to join the boys. Or there were times when I helped him decorate his club that he had up on the rooftop, but he never gave me a key for that. Although I worked very hard helping him, but And then of course I enjoyed my younger siblings. I was already older. So yeah, it was a good life. Well, as a teenager, it was going to school every day, come home, homework, dinner. Weekends, I was with my friends. We'll go to the movies, go to the park, walk around, come home, and start all over again the week. That was kind of our life, yeah. After I graduated high school, I was never a person to, I didn't really enjoy studying. I was not one to go to college or whatever. So I went to work to Standard Oil. My dad worked there and got me a job. That was it until we came to the United States. And mind you, I was already of age, but the customs, the culture, no matter how old you are, a girl, 24, 34, 50, if she's not married, she's still, daddy tells you what to do or not to do. So I had no choice but to come in 1958, come here to the States. At home in Peru, we had to take English. And like I mentioned before, I've never been a person, I never did well with books and homework. And school for me was the social life of it. However, I always enjoyed my English classes. I had different teachers, but when I was older, I'll never forget Mother Darcy. She was a British woman, our nun teacher. And I just love her. I loved her. I enjoy her classes. We used to do crossword puzzles in English. And then also my dad, being that he worked for Standard Oil, and he was very how can I say it? I can think of the word. He knew English quite well, and we used to have sometimes visitors, and I was always like to be there practicing talking in English. And so when I came here, I wasn't quite fluent, because when people talk to you and your country and they're speaking, they said, any other foreign language, they try to speak a little slower. When I got here, it wasn't easy to follow, but it didn't take me long. Oh, he loved the United States, and like I said, he worked for Standard Oil. He used to come here a lot in Canada, and he took an early retirement, and we all got our orders. We are going to be shipped out. So we all came, and when he decided that he did not like to be retired, short of a year later, we were living in Miami, he decided to go back to work for another oil company, and that's when I said, I'm not going back, I'm just staying. My brother came ahead of us. We call him Menego. And so we talked and we made plans that I would come eventually to Chicago and we were going to live together, blah, 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 and all these plans. When I got to Chicago, he was already dating the one, Tina, who he married eventually. So I was kind of always close with him, but not the way we had planned. So it was a little hard at the beginning. He took me to some friends that he had that lived at the YWCA in Evanston, which actually there were 3 very beautiful homes, old houses. So I lived in one of them, got myself a job at AC Nielsen. Shortly after that, these friends that work at Abbott Labs talked me into going over there. I was lucky to find a job with Abbott Labs, and I worked for Abbott until 1963. Well, I came here in November from Florida after living in Peru. So the weather was quite drastic. First of all, I arrived in 59, November, cold, gray, at Midway Airport, the old Midway Airport. So it was quite depressing driving into the city. So it was quite a culture shock. Now, in 1963, what happened is I used to work for Abbott Labs in the city at the big merchandise mart, quite a building, and I was in the international division of Abbott, which was a very small group. We had a lot of friends, we had a lot of parties. It was just great time until Abbott, the domestic company, absorbed the international offices, and we were all moved to North Chicago. I did not like being in North Chicago. They gave us 3 months to find apartments. They paid the train transportation until we were ready. And that's when I decided I'm going to go home for a while. I'm not ready to live in North Chicago. So I went home 10 months. It was fun. I started working for the United States Wheat Growers Association in Peru, in Lima. And that was fun, see my neighbors, my old friends, some neighbors too. And after a while, I was so used to the life in the United States, I decided to come back. In 1964, it was a year later, that's when I met Ozzy, who eventually I married. And that's where the other stage of my life has started. Oh, I forgot to mention, in the meantime, when I came back from Peru, I started to work for the Biscuit and Cracker Manufacturers Association, which right now, that was from all over the world. And I loved, that was the job I really liked. I used to travel, went to conventions. So I remember I went to a convention in LA, and I was there for 2 weeks. Plus, I took 2 weeks vacation, and I went to my brother, Miguel, that lived there. And apparently that did it, because I came back from there, and that's when Ozzy proposed, and he says, we should get married. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun time. And we had a small wedding. We married 2 years later, like I said, in '66, after I met him. I love Evanston. Evanston is a city by the lake, also like Chicago. And that's where I lived when I first came. So I used to sing in a choir then. I love this church, so we got married in Evanston at St. Mary's Church. And the reception was at the Orrington Hotel, which is right, well, Evanston is a college town. That's Northwestern University is there, which is a very well-known university. And the Orrington Hotel is right across from the campus. And that's where we got married. It was a small wedding. My parents were here, my brother. Yeah, that was it. And that's when Monica then was born in '69. She was adorable. She's always been loving, you know, I mean, what else can I say about a child? Oh God, I just stopped everything. I quit. I called at work and told them I'm not coming back, because my boss insisted when first I wanted to quit. He says, Amelia, take a leave. See how it goes, and then you might want to come back. No, that was it for me. I just stay home with my new baby. Monica, she was always a lovely child, happy, bouncing baby. She used to travel with us, and I think she was about 6 months going out west. We always took her. She went everywhere with us, to Europe, to Germany, where Ozzy is from, or was. As a child, Monica, like, we went out west, and then she was little. She was put up on a horse, and she always loved horses, and she got older, she started riding horses. When time went to go to college, and then started working, things changed, and then she did not have the time to ride anymore, but I'm so glad that 29 years later, she's taken up again riding, and she's doing great. Well, when I met Ozzy, you know, I live in Chicago, north side of Chicago, always by the lake, and we got married, and we live in the city. Then we have Monica. Monica went to the same school I went, Sacred Heart, private school, kindergarten, first grade. Later in life, later on, we decided that was a little too expensive, let's put it away, to keep her in that school in the city. So we figured that would be more like college money. So we got to move to the suburbs. And that's when we moved here to Wheeling. We left the city in 1977, and we're still here. Monica and I are here, and she went to Wheeling High School, then she went to Michigan State, then she got her MBA. I'm so proud of her. DePaul University, have different jobs. Right now she does a great job working for Microsoft. We're pretty good friends now. There's nothing that I could say I'm most proud of Monica. I'm proud of everything that she's doing, whether it's her work, whether it's riding her horse now. I mean, it is amazing what she has accomplished on her own. I think she gets it from her father mostly. Ozzy grew up in Germany, in the East, so his childhood was during the war. I have many stories. I wish I can write a book about the stories, some of them quite funny, as a kid growing up in Berlin. And he never gave up. He kept fighting about freedom, and when he was a teenager, later years, he escaped from Berlin. A couple of times he did escape. He went back and out again. The first time the wall was not there yet. The second time the wall was up. So it was a little harder, but he made it. And eventually made it to Canada. And Canada, he made it to the United States. So yeah, that was him. So I admire him. He had quite a life. Ozzy always liked to travel. Actually, we both love to look. I came from Peru to settle here. He came from Germany to settle here. And then we always travel. He loved the West, the American West. So our vacations were going to Wyoming, South Dakota. He loved the Black Hills, and I did too. So that's what we did. Later on, we both loved to ski. So we did a lot of skiing. And of course, Monica did too. So we took many, many family trips, the three of us. And yeah, I have great memories from our ski trips and all the other trips that we did. You know, there's so many things in my life. I loved skiing. After Ozzy died, I kind of gave up the skiing. I went back to ski and joined a ski club with a friend of mine for quite a few years. And I would still do it now. It just got out of hand. It's so expensive now. I just got into other things. I joined the Red Cross. I was very active for about 12 years. I worked first in the office, and then while I was working in that office, I was asked to work on a special group for blood drives, and after that I joined disasters, and that's when I used to go to help people when there were fires or tornadoes or whatever. And eventually I went to, maybe people remember the big hurricane in Katrina, the Katrina hurricane in Louisiana, and there was another one, Rita, that also. So I was working there. It is very rewarding. It's very rewarding because I see firsthand how terrible it is to lose everything and not have anything left. That, yeah, it made me very happy to see people being happy and thankful for whatever. Not me, I mean, I was just working there, but what the Red Cross was doing for them, you know. Oh, I belong to a garden club, so through them, I have a lot of friends, a lot of fun. I love to do gardening. And the neighborhood, after being here for so many years, is like the rest of the neighbors around me. They've been this even longer than I've been here. So to me, it's like family. Yeah, we get together all the time. I love my wine once in a while. And I have friends in the neighborhood that do too, so we get together and we have little wine parties, wine tasting, or without any particular reason, we just get together and sit in the backyard and enjoy it. Now, the winters that were hard at the beginning, they don't really bother me that much. You know, it's so easy. You go from your house, which is warm, go into your car, and you get off on the next building, maybe you walk a little bit. So it's not that bad. I still do my own cleaning of the snow. Of course, I have a snow blower, but I have to use a shovel sometimes. So yeah, life is good. I'm thankful of so many things. Thankful to my parents for being who I am. Thankful for having met my husband and have my daughter, which is one of the biggest things that I could be thankful for. I'm thankful for my health. I'm 83 years old, going on 84, and I can do just about anything you ask me to do. So yeah, there's a lot to be thankful for. Thankful to live here, where we're at peace. It's a great country to live here. That I have the freedom to go back home anytime I want to and come back. I can go anywhere I want to go and always come back here. Wisdom that I can leave behind for others will be live a healthy life is number one. If you live a healthy life, not just your body, but your mind, enjoy whatever you have. Don't wish for those things that you don't have. Enjoy, be happy with what you have. That's life. And yeah, and with a little bit of luck, you know, you'll, like me, 83, and like I said, I go to the health club every day. I do Zumba, I do cycling, weightlifting, I shovel snow. I don't cook that much anymore, but yeah. Enjoy what you have. That's the most important thing.